Hi everyone, welcome back to my live stream. Today I'll be making a flatbread called focaccia, an Italian bread from Italy. So stay put to today's live stream. Thank you. Yeah, just a second, please. Thank you. I'll be right back. Yeah, and it's very nice and very sweet. Basically, I'll be using flour, rosemary, olive oil, sea salt, tomato, because I'll be making the tomato one. So let me grab my recipe. I need my ingredient now. Yeah, I got olive oil. Yeah, the new olive oil. Need to open that one. Yeah, olive oil is very good in making focaccia bread. So we need olive oil. That's olive oil. Of course, I need my sea salt. Sea salt. Uh, yeah. Of course, I need my rolling pin. That's my rolling pin. I need flour, 1 kilogram of flour. But I'm gonna be using I don't know if that's up to 1 kilogram. So I'm gonna grab another flour, set that one aside. We don't use sugar. We don't need sugar for focaccia, so it's very good bread, very healthy bread, focaccia bread. I need rosemary. Rosemary. I need some cherry toms as well. I need rosemary and cherry toms. Yeah, yeah, that's my ingredient. Yeah. So I need flour, I need sea salt, I need olive oil, rosemary, cherry toms, and of course I need my yeast to make it grow. Yeah, that should be enough. Yeah. Yeah. I will use 4 tablespoons of yeast. Um, this is 7 grams each, and 1 tablespoon is 1 tablespoon is 15 grams. But let me grab my tablespoon. Yeah. Yeah, that's my tablespoon. So I'll be using that one. And that should be 15 grams. Yeah. Yeah. So if you are just joining this live stream, this is Cook with Chef Francis live on YouTube. So today I'll be making focaccia bread, and basically focaccia bread is a flat bread. It's flat, and the place of origin is Italy. So it's an Italian flat bread, but it's eaten worldwide. It's very nice bread, crispy, soft, and very tasty. But I'll be making the tomato focaccia. We got rosemary focaccia. We got tomato focaccia. We got the normal one. So it's up to you what you want to add. Like you have olive, you can add olives to your focaccia. If you love olives, you can add olives to it. So, but today I'll be making the rosemary and the tomato focaccia, and you're gonna like it because it's very well spiced with rosemary and and tomato, and you can also see we got olive oil, and we got sea salt. You don't use table salt for your focaccia. Focaccia is very nice when you sprinkle sea salt on it. It melts. The sea salt melts into the bread. So when you eat it, it gives you that crunchiness. You know what I mean? Like sea salt is like the quartz sea salt. I beg your pardon, the quartz one. It gives you the flavor. It has flavor and and nutrient, and also add to the texture as well. So you need sea salt and not table one. So that's my sea salt, that's my olive oil, that's my flour, that's my yeast, tomato, cherry toast. You could use a salad tomato if you want to. You could use salad tomatoes, you could use the plum one. Any toms is all right. I got rosemary. We just need about 20 grams of rosemary, or about 6 sprigs or 5 sprigs. Yeah, they should be about that's 20 grams of rosemary, so I'm gonna use everything. So I need to wash my rosemary. I'm gonna dice some and put that inside, and I bought this rosemary, and the place of origin is Italy, so made in Italy. So let's get started now. So I need to grab my bowl and mix my yeast and my flour. That's the first step. The first step is to mix your yeast and your flour. I need warm water. Remember, I need 600 ml of warm water. So What I'm gonna do now, uh, I'm gonna boil my water. I need some warm water, 600 mils, 600 milliliters of warm water. So I need that one. I'll be right back. Let's put that one in. I'm back now. So I want the water to be warm. Yeah. Yeah. So now I'll be mixing the flour. I'm just waiting for the water to boil away. Uh, should be almost ready. Let me grab my scale. Yeah, that's my scale. So I'll be weighing my scale, my warm water for the focaccia bread, and I need 600 milliliters or 600 grams of warm water. That should be ready now. Our water is almost ready. I'm gonna check the temperature of the water. I'm gonna probe it to see. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna probe my water now. Let me grab my that should be warming up. I'm gonna probe it to check if it's warming up. And yeah, that's warm. That's warm. But I don't want it I don't want it too hot or too warm. I want it warm, but not very warm. You know what I mean? Like warm but not very warm. So yeah, I've probed it now to check the temperature. It should be um, about 32 degrees Celsius. That's warm enough. Yeah. Well, it looks like it's almost hot or something. Yeah, I'm gonna try it again. So we need 600 mils of warm water. Yeah, that's one. 600. That's 605. Yeah, that's all right. So I'll set that aside. That's my warm water. My warm water is ready. So I'm gonna mix my warm water with my yeast. But before that, I'm gonna weigh my flour. That's one. So I'm gonna weigh my flour. I got I got 1,000 grams of flour. That's 1 kilogram. So 1 kilo, 1 kg, 1 kg. I got program. I got program with the scale. So I'm gonna weigh 1,000 grams or 1 kilogram. That's 717. I need 1,000. I'm using plain white flour. Yeah, that's 1,000 grams. So I'll set it aside. So I don't need this. Just put it away. I'll come back for that again. So this is my flour. So the ones we don't need now, I'm gonna put them away. So we got some space. Let's put them far out from there. Yeah. So now I got my warm water. So that's warming up. So I'm gonna add some like half of it into the bowl. and I'm gonna add my yeast. So I want to prove my yeast. I want it to ferment. So, I'm gonna, my hand is wet. So I think this will be 1 tablespoon. So I'm just trying to show you this is 1 tablespoon. So I just put that in, but I need 4 tablespoons. So I don't need to weigh that anymore or measure it. I just put that in. Put that in. So I'm using the dry yeast. Put that in. Put that straight in the bin. So I'm gonna grab this, my spatula, and I'm gonna keep, stirring. So you can see some bubbles in the yeast. It shows the yeast is active, it's alive. I'll keep doing that. Next, I'm gonna add some flour. I'll be adding my flour in bits and I'll be mixing it. I'll top with more water. More flour. You can see I've not added my salt yet, my sea salt, because the salt kills the yeast. So I don't put it same time, I put it later. So I'll keep mixing. Top with more water. More flour. More water. More flour. More water. So now I'm gonna leave the I'll set it aside. I need my rosemary. So I'm gonna quickly wash my rosemary. I need to wash it. That's my rosemary. Need to wash it. Set it aside. I need to dice. I need to like chop some of the rosemary and put it straight in. So I need to chop some of them. Yeah. I need my knife to be sharp. So I need it sharp. I'm using the stone. I want it very sharp. Because you don't work with a blunt knife. If you work with a blunt knife, you're gonna injure yourself. The knife needs to be sharp, nice and sharp. That's it. I clean my work surface. So now, finish up with my steel. I'm gonna sharpen with my steel. That's enough. Yeah, now my knife is sharp now. So I got that one there. So I need space. So now I'm gonna chop my rosemary. So I'm gonna pick it first. I'm gonna pick my rosemary, pick it quickly. So we need to pick our rosemary. I love the aroma from the rosemary. It smells very nice. Lovely. Yeah, that's enough. So I'm gonna chop this now. That's all right. That's enough. I'm gonna pop the chopped rosemary right into my flour mixture, straight in there, straight in there. I love the aroma from the rosemary. It smells very nice. Next, I'm gonna wash some of my tomatoes, cherry toms. I'm still gonna use this later, so I'll pop it here, pop it by the side. My rosemary, still gonna use that. So let me just pop it here. Put that one in. Let me grab a bowl. My cherry toms. Straight. I'll be using about. Can you see I'm using cherry toms? I'll be using about 200 grams of cherry toms. So I'm gonna give it a quick wash. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna slice them in half. That's what I'm gonna do, to slice them in half. Yeah, that should be alright. Put them there. Or you can just chop them or you dice them, doesn't matter. Just like, you know what I mean? Like, chop them, or you give it a quick slice. You can slice them or you chop them. Slice in half. Slice in half. I'm gonna be keeping some of those. So at the end, I'm gonna like put them on top. So I'm gonna put my knife away. Put that away. I put my chopping board away. Yeah, I'm gonna clean this now. We need space. I'll be right back. So I got my tomato in there, my rosemary need now, right in the bowl. Put that away. So I need 1 tablespoon of salt. So 1 tablespoon should be about, that's 1 tablespoon of sea salt. 1 tablespoon of sea salt, and I need 4 tablespoons of olive oil. Yeah. Now I'm gonna knead everything with my hand. You see, that's a lot in the bowl. That's a lot. I'll keep kneading it. That's it. So now I'm gonna knead on a floured work surface. Yeah, just put that one there. I still need my sauce. I can still keep that. Yeah. So now I want to knead on my flour work surface. So I'm gonna knead now. So I'll pop that on the work surface. Put that away. I need more flour for kneading. So I'm gonna knead that now. Can you see the tomatoes all over the focaccia and the rosemary? Can you see that? Lovely, isn't it? So I'll knead that on my table, on my work surface. I'll keep kneading. That's a lot, isn't it? uh, keep kneading. Yeah, that's lovely. Keep kneading. I need more flour because of the tomatoes. So sprinkle that one there. So this flour should be enough now. Yeah, that should be enough. That should be enough. I'm kneading the dough now. Yeah, it's non-sticking now, so it should be all right. I love the cherry tones all over it. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna quickly uh, wash my hands now and oil the work surface. My hand is sticky, so I need to wash my hands now. It looks sticky. Now I'm gonna sprinkle some olive oil. And I'll sprinkle some olive oil on in the bowl. I'll set it aside. So now I will knead with olive oil. So I want to make it shine, make it glossy. Gently knead. So lovely. Can you see how big the dough is? Lovely dough. Let's give it a few taps. Now I'm gonna oil my bowl with olive oil and pop the dough. That's my lovely dough. Can you see that? So I'll pop that straight into the bowl and I'll put cling film on it, allow it to double in size. So let me clean my work surface now. You know, when you walk, you need to clean up. Looks dirty, isn't it? It looks sticky. You need to clean, 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 clean. We got some tomatoes in there, that's why it's sticky. Sticky on the work surface. But of course, we need to keep our work surface dry, nice and clean, all the time. Come on, clean up. It's taking time. Yeah, it should be clean now. Take that off. Should be clean now. Put that one in the bin. And get a new one, a new J-cloth. I'm gonna shine the table now, the work surface. It's pretty cool now, pretty clean. So I'm gonna grab my cling film. So I'm gonna cling film the top. Can you see how lovely the dough is? Rising already, becoming very big. Now I'm gonna place this straight in the oven, but please note the oven is not on, just in one place. So straight in the oven. we need this. Pull that one in. Okay, set that one aside. I'll be right back, my friends. Just a second. Hello, my friends, I'm back. So, like a background music. You know, I don't want to increase it too much. That's enough. That should be enough. Not too loud. Now, um, you know, my live stream is like a food vlog as well. So I give uh, a clear explanation, and I make everything precise. I'm not in a rush, and I don't. I always take my time. So basically, if you're just joining this live stream, this is Cook with Chef Francis, live on YouTube, uh, making it real. So today I'll be making my sixth live stream, fifth live stream. So yesterday I made uh, 2 days ago or 3 days ago I made the hot cross buns. So today I'll be making focaccia, but I already started making it already. I made the tomato focaccia, but we have different types of focaccia bread. We have the rosemary focaccia, we have the tomato focaccia, we have the the normal one. You could have all olive focaccia. So basically today I'm doing the rosemary and the tomato focaccia. So you know what I did? Uh, I want to make a very large quantities. It's gonna fit in this tray. That's a massive tray, isn't it? I'm gonna put my focaccia right in this baking tray, very big baking tray. I'm gonna get a massive one, lovely for family. This is a family size focaccia for family size. So I'll pop my tray back. So basically, today we'll be making um, tomato and rosemary focaccia for real. So for those who are just joining this lovely channel live on YouTube, Coco Chef Francis, I'm gonna give you a recap of what I did before we uh, continue what we're doing. Like today, I started making rosemary and tomato focaccia. What I did was to weigh my flour. I weighed 1,000 grams of flour, which is 1 kilogram. If you have a jotter, you can just write it down straight away. So I weighed 1,000 grams of plain white flour, which is 1 kilogram of flour, isn't it? Then next, I weighed the flour and set it aside. And next, what did I do? I weighed my. You don't need to weigh the rosemary anyway. Just weigh the grams, like 5 sprigs. I set that aside, and my sea salt is 1 tablespoon. Set that aside, and my cherry toms about 200 grams. Set that aside. So it's a quick one. It's very simple recipe and it's easy to make. And I have my olive oil, 4 tablespoons. I set that aside. So what did I do? What I did was to weigh my flour, which is 1,000 grams or 1 kilograms. Weighed it and I set it on a bowl. So when I put it on the bowl, the next thing for me to do, I took another bowl and I added my warm water. How many kilograms or grams of warm water did I use? Warm water is needs to be about 32 degrees centigrade, no more than 37. If you check our body temperature is 37, isn't it? If you get to like 40 or whatever, it's gonna be extremely hot for us. So same with, we need to keep our body warm and not very hot, because when we are humans, we get hot. What happens to our body when we're very hot? We like fall sick or something, and it's not good for our body temperature. Same thing with the yeast. The yeast needs a warm temperature and not a very hot temperature. If you put a very hot water straight in the yeast, it's gonna kill the yeast. So what I do, I have my probe with me. That's my probe, my thermometer. I used to check the temperature, put it in the water. But of course, if you always bake, if you're a baker, you bake all the time, you should know the temperature of the water. What I normally do, um, I normally um, put the warm water straight in the bowl. When I put the warm water in the bowl, I dip my fingers straight in the bowl. And when I dip my fingers straight in the bowl, I can feel it's warm. But hey, if your water is hot, what's going to happen when you dip your finger into hot water? You do that way, isn't it? We're humans and we do that way. Oh, it's very painful, very hot. So you know it's hot water. Of course, if you do that to the yeast is gonna die. so so we pastry chefs, what we do when we bake, we use warm water. The difference between cold, warm, and hot. Cold, is cold, and warm is mild. It's in between cold and hot. So when you dip your hand, you see your hand is warm. You can keep your hand straight in the warm water, and you don't do that way, isn't it? We don't do that way. So you know your water is warm. That's the first thing to know. If you're a pastry chef and you always use warm water and you don't know the difference between warm and hot, of course your yeast is not gonna grow. It's gonna die. So it needs a warm environment to keep growing, grow. until it dies. And when it dies, it doesn't smell when you bake it. But if you don't use the actual measurement and you bake with a yeast, maybe too much yeast, you're like, oh, what's going on? Like you're smelling yeast everywhere, and you know what I mean? Like someone's want to eat your bread or something, you smell yeast everywhere. You know, it's not very good. They say, what chef is that? Putting so many yeast. You're supposed to put 1 tablespoon of yeast, and he or she added 10 tablespoons of yeast. That's crazy, isn't it? So we use the actual measurement for yeast. So I'm gonna give you a recap of what I did. My dough is straight in the oven, not on. So I'll give you a recap again. Number one, I added 1 kilograms of flour straight into the bowl and I set it aside. I took another big bowl. Doesn't really matter. You could use a steel bowl, you could use a plastic bowl, but I added six. I weighed 600 milliliters or 600 grams of warm water. The same thing. I weighed it and I set it aside. 600 grams of warm water. I place it into a big bowl. You know what I mean? Like a big bowl. And I added my yeast. I need yeast of 4 tablespoons. But if you are using the one in the sachet, like that one, you can use 4 of those. Four of that one. That's 4. That's alright. 4. This is 2 in 1. That's 1. That's 2. So you can use 4 of this of the dry yeast. So what I did was to add 4 of that straight in the bowl, or you could use 4 tablespoons. So what I did was to take a spatula and start to mix everything. So I mix the yeast and the warm water. So I want the yeast to ferment. So that's why I did that first. That's the procedure when you're making focaccia bread. So I mix that. So what I did, I took my flour and I added it straight into the yeast. And you know the yeast is already fermenting, and it's, you know, it's a chemical process. You know, it's like, you know, it's like when you if you did chemistry in school, you know what I mean. This is a chemical process. So mixing the yeast and warm water is a chemical process. So now what I did next is to add um added the flour in bits, and I keep stirring with the spatula. I keep stirring with the spatula. As I keep stirring the spatula, I was having something very nice, like a smooth ball. So while I'm doing that, I you know what I mean. Like you don't put all the warm water. You have 600 ml of warm water. You don't need to put everything at the same time. What I was doing was to put them in bits. Warm water, flour, keep mixing. Warm water, flour, keep mixing. Warm water, flour. You know why I'm doing that? That's a gradual process. Gentle stirring. You know, when you gentle stir the yeast and the flour, the warm water, you don't have seeded dough. But if you are in a rush, no rush in pastry. If you're in a rush, oh, I want to put everything straight into the warm water and the flour. What's gonna happen? It's gonna get like seeded dough, and it's gonna be fucked, like too much of water and all that. So, but what we're trying to do is to gentle stir, gentle knead, everything gentle. So handle your dough like a baby, gentle. So what I did was to mix the flour, the warm water, you know, gradual process. Keep doing that, and I had something smooth, so I set that aside, and I quickly, you know, chop my rosemary. You know, I make my knife sharp. You know, I use this stone to sharpen my knife, and I use my steel to sharpen my knife. I want my knife sharp, very sharp. Before you start in the kitchen, your knife needs to be sharp. You know what people don't know is that a sharp knife does not injure a chef. If you're a chef and use a very sharp knife, you stay protected from injury. But as a chef, if you use a blunt knife, you're going to harm yourself. For example, this is a tomato, this cherry toms, and you're trying to use a blunt knife, you struggle, and when you struggle, before you know, you slip off, and the knife cuts the hand. But if the knife is very sharp, just straight once and that's it. So sharp knife, easy job, less injury. Sharp knife, easy job, no injury. But blunt knife, bad job, injury. So always make your knife very sharp before you do anything. So I place my rosemary on a board, and I make sure my board was not moving. I have to secure it with something to make it stay. So I put something under my board like a J cloth or something to secure it so it doesn't move. What next did I do? I took my sharp cook's knife or chef knife or whatever. I took it, sharp cook's knife, and what did I do? Can you see my hand? And chop it. If you keep your hand this way, you're gonna cut your hand. So that's how we chef will like put your hand, you like hide it, you know. But if you do like this, oh my god, what's gonna happen? Hands off. That way. So and I chop it and I got a finely chopped rosemary. And you know what do I do next? I put it straight into the flour mixture. And what next? My cherry toms. I put it straight in the flour mixture, straight in there. I chop the cherry toms, slice them. You could do whatever you like, slice, dice, straight into the flour mixture. Sea salt. Why didn't I add sea salt before? If you mix your sea salt or whatever or your rock salt into the flour mixture and the yeast from the very beginning, the yeast is not gonna grow; it's gonna die because salt can kill the yeast as well. So that's why I allow the yeast to ferment and the flour to grow together with the yeast before I added the salt. So I added the salt and mix everything together with olive oil. I added 4 tablespoons of olive oil. So one more recap: recipes: flour 1,000 grams. Write it down if you have a jotter. 1,000 grams is same as 1 kilogram or 1 kilo or whatever. That's the recipe. You see, my recipes, I don't look a book. I have my recipes right in my memory. You know, that's I was born to be a chef, so I have them in my memory. I don't need to look at the book. So that's it. That's why I love cooking. I cook every day. Every day I cook. I started cooking when I was 10 years. No one told me what to do. I just go to the kitchen and I start cooking. So I got my memory. I got a sharp memory and the recipes are right there. So get a jotter, 1,000 grams of flour, which is 1 kilograms. Write it down, please. Next, olive oil, 4 tablespoons. Warm water, 600 milliliters. Or you could call it 600 grams or 600 mils, same thing. 1 tablespoon of sea salt. I use sea salt and not table salt for my focaccia. Sea salt gives your focaccia a nice, texture. It makes it very sweet. And next recipe: yeast 4 tablespoons and about 200 grams of sliced or diced cherry toms. You can use your salad toms or any tomato is alright. Plum, cherry toms, salad toms, heritage toms, anyone, that's alright. And rosemary 20 grams. So use 10 grams of rosemary, dice it, and put it straight into um, the flour mixture, and leave some of the rosemary because I'm going to use that for finishing, for topping at the end. I'm gonna top my rosemary at the end. So you know what, my friends? I mixed all the ingredients together right into the bowl, and I had a smooth ball of dough. What next did I do? I floured my work surface, and I started kneading on the work surface. I was kneading my flour, my dough on the work surface. How did I knead it? I did a gentle kneading. I was not like struggling to knead the dough, no power, mild, gentle kneading. Give it a gentle knead as you take care of a baby. You know what I mean? Like a newborn. So gentle kneading, take your dough as a newborn. Unless you're making it depends on what kind of bread you're making. Then you might not take your dough as a gentle as a newborn. You could just like hit it with a stick or whatever you want the dough to rise quickly. But for focaccia, just do gentle kneading. So after that, what did I do next? I kneaded with flour. After kneading with flour, I sprinkled some olive oil. I told you I always take clean. See, I can even rest on the table. Look at me, resting on my work surface. Of course, if my work surface was full of mess and shit on the work surface, what's going to happen? I cannot put my hand here. This is very clean, well sanitized. You know what I mean? Clean work surface, work clean. You're gonna get clean result. Everything clean, 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 clean. Sparkling clean. You know what I mean. So let's stay clean as chefs. So we stay clean, good jobs. I do it clean, and you know customers will be happy. Family and friends will be happy. Eating nourishing food without any contaminants or cross contamination or whatever. So stay clean as chef. Always stay clean. Clean work surface, and that's it. So now you clean as you work. You make a mess, clean up. That's it. That's how we work as chef. I always stay clean. Clean work surface, sparkling clean, like a new work surface. So so I did that with olive oil. I cleaned my work surface quickly, and I added olive oil and kneaded gently again. And what did I do next? I took a new bowl and an oily bowl. When I oil the bowl, I transfer the dough straight into the oil bowl. And hey, this is focaccia. Please do not use veg oil or or sunflower oil. Focaccia goes well with olive oil. Olive oil is very nice. And I said earlier on when I introduced myself, when I welcomed my viewers in the beginning of the live stream, what did I say? I said focaccia is a flat bread, isn't it? It's a flat bread. Place of origin is Italy, but it's widely eaten all over the world. And it's a very nice bread because it's not like a bread where you add milk or something. It's very healthy. If you check out focaccia, what does focaccia have? It has flour, it has sea salt, it has olive oil, it has tomato or whatever, it has rosemary. These ingredients are healthy ingredients. Of course, rosemary is a plant, is a veg and is a herb and is what is healthy. Of course, olive oil is made from a plant. It's healthy as well, isn't it? From olives, made from olives, isn't it? So it's healthy. Of course, your flour is made from wheat, unless one is have allergy to gluten. Then you need to stay away from flour made from gluten. You go for your gluten-free flour. Of course, flour is also healthy. It's not dangerous to eat flour. It's made from wheat, so it's good. But if you want the most healthiest one, the ones that are more healthier, then you go for the wheat flour or the whole wheat flour. And sea salt is healthy, it's natural from the sea. And the rock salt. I also use rock salt from the rock. These are salts from the creation, natural. No one made it. But you know what I mean when you use table salt. Table salt is made from the industry. You know what I mean. So of course, chemicals are into table salt. So, but when you use sea salt, that's how I always use sea salt when I cook. Sea salt or rock salt are best. I don't use table salt. I use sea salt. I use sea salt and rock salt. I stay healthy, so I use healthy recipes. Sometimes I use, it's only when I'm showing my viewers, because some people love to use white sugar. Of course, in industry is white sugar most times. So I always like to use a cane sugar one as well. So for this one, there's no sugar. You see, it's healthy bread, no sugar in the bread, no sugar in the bread. Very healthy. And what else did I add in there? Talk about cherry toms, tomatoes, of course, very good for the heart, very good for the body. You know, tomato is very good. Everyone loves tomato. You know, if you're a vegetarian or whatever, tomato, you know what I mean. Tomato is very good, very nice. You can eat a tomato. You can use it to make salad. You can eat it raw. You can use it for cooking. So it's like a fruit as well. You can. I love eating cherry toms. You don't need to cook it. Just eat it. Nice, like a fruit, as you just like you eating apple or something. So check it out. It's lovely bread with lovely ingredient. Uh, you know what I mean? Like you eating healthy food. And when it's out now, it's gonna be out soon. From the it's almost double in size. It should have doubled in size. So I'm gonna grab my timer now, because now I'm gonna take out my dough. I didn't tell you how many minutes the dough is gonna ride. Let me check it first, and I'm gonna tell you how many minutes you need to prove your dough. Sometimes this. Uh, can you see that? I'm gonna work with it soon. Look at it at the top. So just a second, please. Give me 5 minutes. I want to finish explaining, and I'll work on this now. Can you see it? I've gotten to the top. Look at how that is. That's lovely, isn't it? Wonderful. And if I've added hot water, as I said earlier on, it's not gonna grow. It's gonna stay the way it is. You know, I'll be right back. Let me place that back in the oven. But hey, my oven is not on. When I say place it back in the oven has been turned off. Thank you. Now, uh, that's my lovely focaccia dough. I cannot wait to make the focaccia. As I said earlier on, this is a live stream. This is a live stream channel where you get everything for free. This is a live stream channel, and I'm making a wonderful bread called focaccia. There's no fast forward in live stream. No fast forward. I could make a focaccia video for 5 minutes or 3 minutes, and I could fast forward. When I'm kneading, I'll just fast forward. When I'm rolling, I fast forward. And of course, if I fast forward, you might not know what I'm doing. But hey, this is a live stream, so when I do it gently, I take my time. Of course, you follow what I'm doing, and of course, you're gonna get it right. You're gonna get it right. But this is for real recipes, real kneading, real rolling, real everything. Professional chefs, you know. I'm a certified chef, so I'm not a fake chef. So when a real chef is cooking, you know what I mean. You know, you know what I mean. Real chefs. Not fake chefs. People can call themselves chefs, but they're not chefs. But I'm a real chef, so I'm giving you the basic techniques of cooking and culinary. You know what I mean. So now I'm gonna roll this on on uh, on the work surface. I'm gonna roll this on the work surface now. And when I roll that, I will show you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use this massive. Look at this tray. I'm gonna use this massive tray. Our focaccia bread is gonna be as long as what I mean. When you see beef focaccia from that length and down here, and it's gonna come up. That's what I've isn't it? And it's gonna be. And you see what I'm gonna do when I'm gonna finish it off. I'm gonna finish up with olive oil and sea salt on top again. And you know what I mean? You just take your time, stay put. You see what I'm gonna do. There's no rush. Take your time in cooking, and when you keep practicing, You know, they say practice makes perfect. When you keep practicing, you know, even if you go to a cooking school or whatever, if you have been taught what to do, you cannot just start doing it immediately. You need to practice again, maybe first time, second time, and you get it right the third time. You know, three times. Of course, if someone doesn't get something right the third time, you know, you do something three times, you don't get it, then something must be wrong, isn't it? But of course, if you do something three times, three trials, you're gonna get it right, isn't it? So unless it's something you love, you could try it maybe one or two times and you get it right. But hey, not the first time. Most times you need to try a second time. You know, that's it. We're all human beings, so we fail and we pass. So we always try to do something. We keep trying. We try until we get it. But if we don't try, we're not gonna get it, isn't it? So we need to try. So now I will take the dough out. I have a wonderful dough. I'm gonna take this dough out. And when I take this dough out, you're gonna see what I'm gonna do now. So I'm gonna be explaining what I'm gonna do. So hey, I used to say this like I was wondering, like I was taking a live stream, like this is a live stream, and you know, it's clear. I'm looking at it very clear from the image, but you know, you might not be able to see very clearly because sometimes coming from the internet, so internet connection could make it not very clear. So I used to watch different live streams, so it's similar with mine. So it's from the internet connection. Even if you have the best camera, you might not get the best results, but you need to have a super fast internet, you know, because right here on the screen, I'm seeing myself very clear, everything very clear, my cherry toms are very clear, my rosemary are very clear. But you might not be able to see very clear, but that's why I said, please, you need to listen when I'm doing mine. Please, if you listen, you're gonna get everything. So I always say the recipes and all that, my recipes, my explanations. I used to do that thing, makes everything very fine and everything. So, and I used to invert my bowl to show you what I'm doing, so it's gonna be clear. Because in when you're making a live stream with a food live stream like a vlog, you might not be able to see the food very clearly. But if I was just making a vlog, maybe like a travel vlog or something or whatever, or maybe just a vlog to just say something about a particular object or whatever, it's just for one to listen and just see the image of the YouTuber, isn't it? But when it comes to food vlog or food live stream, cooking live stream and all that, of course you want to see the salt or whatever. So it doesn't really matter. But let's get started now. We get started and focaccia will be ready. So I'm gonna grab my dough from the oven. I cannot wait, you know, to have my focaccia bread. It's gonna be lovely. I love focaccia. Very nice, you know. So I'll grab my focaccia from the oven. Where I used to work before, I used to make focaccia bread for them, and they love it a lot. So they used to have focaccia, but when I came in to start making focaccia, they said, "Hey, your focaccia looks very good, it's very nice. You know how to make it, man. I'm very quick at making focaccia." And they're like, "Hey, you know, you're like, you know, good at focaccia. You know what I mean?" So of course, you know what I mean when you give an Italian person focaccia bread. Oh, he loves it because they love focaccia. Of course, place of origin of focaccia, Italy. So now I'm gonna grab my dough. Can you see that? I'll put this away. I don't need my scale. Put that away. Put that away. Stay me down. Put this away. That's my rosemary. So this is my clean work surface. So now I want to knead my focaccia, but I'm gonna do a gently kneading and I'll roll it. I have my rolling pin with me. I got my rolling pin. Of course, as a pastry chef, you need a rolling pin. That's my rolling pin. Let me put that away first. I don't need that for now. I don't need the tablespoon. Put that away. Sea salt, I need the sea salt. I can keep that. I need olive oil. I can keep that. I need rosemary. I can keep that. I need the rolling pin. I can keep that. So now, what am I gonna do now? Now I need to sprinkle some flour on my work surface first. So now that's my plain flour. Sprinkle that on the work surface. Flour. I can sprinkle some more flour. That's alright. I want it to stick. So that's my flour on the work surface. Next, I'm gonna remove the cling film and I'm gonna place my focaccia dough right. Can you see that? You know, look at that. You know, that's why I want to say something. You know, if you are working in the kitchen as a chef or a pastry chef, you know what I mean. Like, if you put your dough into a bowl and it's not oil or flour, you know what's gonna happen. You know what I mean? Like, it's gonna stick because when the yeast is rising, it like it pushes it up, isn't it? It's like pushing and it becomes sticky. So it sticks to the bowl, and when you take your dough out, you mess it up. Well, hey, look at what I did. I have to oil my dough and comes out freely, isn't it? Easy job. So now I'm gonna show you something. Look at the lovely tomato there. You know it's called tomato focaccia, but I'm still gonna push more tomato. This is called tomato focaccia. Hey, you can see the rosemary there, isn't it? That is rosemary. Just a few. That is rosemary. I'm gonna top it more rosemary and more tomato because it's called tomato and rosemary focaccia, isn't it? Now I'm gonna knead it, gently knead. I love the dough. Smells very nice. Lovely aroma from this. Natural aroma. Can you see that? Gentle kneading. Do not over knead on at this stage because you over knead, you have your tomato there. It's going to bring out more juice and you start adding more flour. So gently knead because of the tomato. If I was just doing the rosemary focaccia, of course I could do more kneading. But for tomato focaccia, you need to be very careful because tomato has juices in there. And of course, I don't want to remove the tomato juice. You know, why should I remove my tomato juice? If I do that, I'm removing the nutrient from the tomato, and the juice in there is very nice. So I need to put my juice into my dough. When I put my juice into my dough, I'm gonna get what? A very nourishing and nice focaccia, full of flavor, full of nutrients. You know what I mean? So what I'm gonna do now, I'll keep kneading gently. So you see that? You see what I'm doing? Gentle kneading. So I got that now. So can you see? Gentle kneading. Next thing to do, I'll set that aside. Please follow my recipes and my method. You can watch the replay later if you miss some things. You're just joining. This is Coco Chef Francis live on YouTube. So I'm gonna knead that now. Watch the replay later, and you might understand more. Sprinkle on my rolling pin. Now I'm gonna roll gently. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna show you something. I have my tray, so I'm gonna measure with my rolling pin. Can you see? That's the height I'm looking for. I beg your pardon. That's the length I'm looking for. So I'm looking for this length from here to here. So I need to roll my dough up to that length, up to that length, up to that length. So I'll pop that here. It's a nice dough, isn't it? It smells very nice. I love the bread. So I'll gently roll, please, gently roll, Do not apply too much pressure when you're rolling your focaccia. Oh, I can see the tomato. Look at that. Lovely, isn't it? Lovely focaccia. Lovely focaccia. Lovely tomato focaccia. Oh, I love it. Looks very nice. See, I'm going through that mark. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. Lovely, yeah. Lovely. Lovely. Look at that. Look at that. Can you see that? Massive. Very big. So now I will roll that again. That's it. That's it. We are done now. So now at this stage, you need to be very careful. I'll show you something. This is your focaccia. Sorry, this is your tray. This is our tray. So I'm gonna oil this tray now with olive oil. Olive oil. You know, focaccia needs more olive oil. So I added olive oil on the tray. So I'll just put olive oil. I'll rub olive oil all over the tray. Olive oil. Lovely. Now I have olive oil here, so I'm gonna take this gently and place it on the tray. So let's get started. Be careful when you're doing this. Of course, if your dough is sticky, what's gonna happen? You're not gonna be able to carry it. Gently. Okay, do that. Can you see that? You don't want it to break. So I'm gonna clean my work surface, so that I'm gonna bring my tray close to the camera so that you can see clearly. So I'll quickly clean the work surface now, so you can see what I'm doing. Excuse me, please. I was sneezing. So now, I'll remove the flour, clean my work surface. I always stay clean, no rush in cooking. Unless you're in a competition, then you can rush. No rush at this moment. So now, pick up my flour. Let me do it quickly. Our bread will be ready soon. It's very nice bread. Yeah, almost done. I always stay clean when I'm cooking, so I'm gonna get a very nice result. I always stay nice and clean, nice and clean. So now my work surface is sparkling clean, shiny. I believe so. Yeah. I'm gonna wash my hand now. Hey, my friends, I'm ready now. So you can see it's right in there, but our flatbread has not taken the shape of the tray. So just watch what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna stretch it, gentle stretch, gentle stretch. I'm gonna gently stretch my focaccia, my flattened focaccia dough to fit in with the tray. So that's what I'm gonna do now. Same, I'm gonna level that. Can you see what I'm doing? Like pushing it just in. That's lovely, isn't it? That's my tomato. Lovely. So I finished stretching now. That's lovely, isn't it? Lovely. Looks very nice. I love focaccia. I love focaccia. I love focaccia. Yeah, I finished stretching it. This is very lovely. I love focaccia. This is lovely. Focaccia bread. Oh my gosh. Look at that. Gorgeous. Now I've gotten my magic. It's like a magic, isn't it? Look at that. Look at that. I've stretched the flattened focaccia dough. Can you see that? Now, what do I do next? I'm going to show you something. You don't need any, this our hands is, we are created to have, our hands. So of course, if you have our hands, it's a blessing. You don't need to buy any tool or whatever. So I'm going to show you, when you buy focaccia bread, what do you see? You see some holes in the focaccia bread, isn't it? There are some holes right in there. You don't need a tool. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with it. So I'm going to use my hand, my fingers, to keep the holes. Now, I'm going to make it a uniform. I'm going to make a uniform. So now, this is my fingers. I do it this way. So I'll show you one. I want to invert this so that you can see what I'm doing. Like, give it a hole. Yeah. Space it. Space it. Space it. Space it. That's how we need to wash our hands when we're cooking. So if you wash your hands, everything stays clean. So now I keep doing it that way. I'm just showing you what I did. Can you see that? That way, that way, that way. You keep your hands straight. That way, that way, that way, that way, that way, that way. That way. It's lovely, isn't it? Yeah, that's all right. So I've given my focaccia some nice holes with my fingers. So what I'm gonna do now, yeah. What I'm gonna do now, uh, I'm gonna sprinkle with olive oil. You know what I mean? I was lucky. I was not charging my camera, and it nearly went off. So I quickly on the. I forgot to that. So I quickly put on the. I quickly put it on. I was wondering what was going on. Like it wanted to switch off. I was very quick. If not, I would have been offline. It's gonna be a mess. It's gonna be a mess because I'm almost ready to put this straight in the oven, and my camera nearly went off. Oh, that's gonna be a mess. So I'm lucky. I have to quickly put it on. So I'm very happy for that now. So we didn't go off. Very lucky. Next time I'm gonna remember to always keep it on, keep it plugged for charging. See, so I was lucky. We thank God. So now this is my lovely flattened focaccia. Here, let me finish it up now. Looks very nice. Look at that. Lovely. I'm spinning it up, spinning, spinning, spinning. So I'm happy with that. So now I will grab my olive oil. This is my olive oil. I need olive oil, I need sea salt, and I need rosemary. I also need some cherry toms to finish up. So I'll quickly do that now. Firstly, I'm gonna grab some rosemary and I'm gonna put it, I'm gonna line the rosemary right there. I'll pick rosemary like this and put it right in there. Did you see what I do? Can you see that? Rosemary. I need to space it. Rosemary, 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 rosemary. Just look at that. Space it. Rosemary, 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 rosemary. Sprinkle that. So rosemary, rosemary, rosemary. You can see the dough is still rising. It's still rising. Can you see? It's still coming up. That's why it's a very nice bread. Can you see that? It's still rising, isn't it? Rosemary. Now I'm gonna preheat my oven. My oven needs to be on now. I'll preheat my oven. That's on now. I need my oven very warm. That's it. Oven is on now. Some rosemary, 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 rosemary. It's gonna be lovely, isn't it? Rosemary, 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 rosemary. I love rosemary. Rosemary, 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 rosemary. So that should be enough. Yeah, I believe so. That should be enough. Put it on there. Yeah. Rosemary. Rosemary. That's it. I'll put that in the bin. Now, this is my rosemary. Can you see the rosemary is on it? So what I'm gonna do next, it's called rosemary and tomato focaccia. So I'm gonna add some sea salt. Sea salt. Sea salt, very nice. Just sprinkle some sea salt all over it. So when you lovely, looks very nice. Sea salt. Yeah. Put that away. Sea salt is very nice. So now, I'll put this away. I don't need it. Yeah. Now I've got some cherry toms. So I'm gonna slice that in half. Where did I keep my knife? Alright. Let me use my paring knife. Yeah. I'll use my paring knife. So I'll just cut that in half. I'll just place that one there. 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 I can place that one there. And place that one there. And that one there. So now I'm gonna finish up with olive oil. I got my olive oil. I'll drizzle some olive oil. Just drizzle some olive oil all over it. Lovely. That's a lovely focaccia, isn't it? Looks very great. Lovely, yummy. Smells nice. Lovely. Full of flavor, nourishing. Olive oil there. So now I'm gonna put this straight in the oven, but hey, just look at that. This is like a pizza, like flat bread. Lovely focaccia flat bread. Look at that. Look at how the rosemaries have been lined up. Rosemary, cherry toms, sea salt, and drizzle with olive oil, isn't it? Looks, lovely. So I'm gonna pop that straight in the oven. I preheated my oven now for about 5 minutes. So I'm gonna give it a time. Let me get my timer. My oven got a timer, but I love to use my timer. So let me give it 20 minutes. I think let me just give it 20 minutes and see what's gonna happen. 20 minutes. So start. It's moving now. So in 20 minutes, I will check on it in 20 minutes. So I'll put this straight in the oven now. Straight in the oven. Minutes. Oven. Oven 20 minutes and 190. So now I'm going to put this away. Clean my work surface. I love to stay clean when I'm working in the kitchen, because if I'm not clean, I'm gonna mess things up. So I need to stay clean. So when I work clean, I cook perfectly. So I must clean my station. It must be clean, sparkling clean. Yeah, I want it very clean. I'll pop this one back in the fridge. I'm going to store it straight in the fridge. Uh, yeah. So I finished cleaning my J cloth. So yeah, nice and clean. Just a second, please. Give me 1 minute. I'll be back. Thank you. Yeah, I'm back now. Yeah, so I'm gonna check my focaccia bread now. So it's right there in the oven for 6 minutes. Um, I love focaccia bread. So basically, what we're doing now, it's a food vlog. So while our focaccia bread in the oven cooking, I'm gonna explain what I did again as a recap. You know, uh, when I started, I said I'll be making focaccia bread. And focaccia bread is a flat bread. We all know that it's a flat bread, like a pizza or something, yeah. And this bread originated from Italy. So it's an Italian bread, it's an Italian flat bread. Very nice, good for breakfast, wherever. You can enjoy it any time of the day with a cup of tea or a cup of coffee, a cup of drink or something. And it's a lovely bread. Looks gorgeous. When you're making focaccia, when you look at it, you're wondering what kind of bread is this? Like it looks very nice. It has lovely toppings. You know, and it's made from natural ingredients. You know what I mean? Like natural ingredients, not made from chemicals. So if you check out the recipe, I'm going to give you a recap of the recipe again. And I said I used 1000 grams of flour, plain white flour, 1000 grams. That's same as 1 kg or 1 kilo. But please, if you don't want to make too much quantity, you could reduce the quantity. If you want to make more, it's up to you. You could increase, but of course, this one I'm making is for the family. So if you want to make less, you could make 500 grams of flour and just divide everything by two. You need make half recipe. So for this one, I'm making focaccia on a very massive tray, on a big tray, and that tray I put in the oven. This is how long it is. It's long that way. So so what I did, I'm gonna give you a recap again. I'm gonna start to tell you because some people joined just now. You know they join, they come and go, come and go. So it's a long vlog, but it's good to stay put so you don't miss everything. You can watch the replay later. So now, um, if you are just joining this live stream, this is Coco Chef Francis live on YouTube. This is I believe this is my fifth or sixth. It should be sixth live stream or fifth live stream. Number five or number six live stream. Yeah, and I made my first live stream was on cookies. Yeah, cookies. How to make oatmeal raisin cookies with white flour and plain flour. And I believe my second live stream was on shortbread biscuits, Scottish shortbread. How to make shortbread with wholemeal flour, the wheat flour and plain flour. And I believe the third one was on hot cross buns. I believe so. Hot cross buns. Third live stream. The one with the cross, the buns with the cross. And the fourth one was on genuine. How to make genuine. And genuine is originated from the Genoa or chocolate, and that one originated from Italy as well. There's a town in Italy called Genoa, so Genoa, and they made that bread. Sorry, they made that cake. Same thing, cake or bread, similar. So they made it from the city of Genoa. So it's spelled Genoa, but the cake is spelled Genise, Genoa, AU, or chocolate, CHOCOLAT. So I made that one. Then now I'm making. I think this should be my fifth live stream. Then fifth live stream. So I'm making focaccia, and I said focaccia is an Italian flatbread made from Italy, but it's eaten all over the world now. And we have different types of focaccia bread. We have the normal focaccia bread, number one, and we have the rosemary focaccia, we have the tomato focaccia, we have the olive focaccia, etc. So many types of focaccia. But today I chose to make rosemary and tomato focaccia. That's gonna be a lovely one, isn't it? Rosemary and tomato focaccia. And how did I make it? It's straight in the oven now and it's cooking in the oven. It's gonna be ready in less than 20 minutes. So and after that we're gonna slice out focaccia bread and enjoy it. So I'll tell you how I made it. So what I did was to take a scale and I weighed my flour and I set it aside. I weighed about uh, 1,000 grams of flour, precisely 1 kilogram of flour. I weighed it and I set it aside. And I weighed, yeah, I just weighed my flour and I set it aside, 1 kilogram of plain white flour. And I weighed my water, warm water. I probe it with my thermometer, with my probe to check I use it to check it. It's on about 32 degrees Celsius. But if you don't have a probe, if you don't have a probe, if you don't have that one, a probe, you could just dip your hand into the warm water, and if you see it's warm, that's fine. Then you can start using it. But if the water is very hot, you're gonna kill your yeast. I said that earlier on. So dip your hand. If it's warm, go for it. So I put the warm water straight in the bowl, and I added 4 tablespoons of yeast. So let me quickly check what's going on. It should be ready. Almost ready. It is ready. Yeah. Yeah, the bread is ready now. It's smelling very nice. Nice aroma is coming out from the bread. So you see, we got 6 minutes more, but I'm gonna check it in 6 minutes and see what's going on. Now I said I added 4 tablespoons of yeast straight into my warm water, and I mix it together. Isn't it? I mix it together and allow the yeast to ferment for like 1 minute, and while keep stirring for 1 minute. It's really fermenting. And next thing for me to do, I took my flour. It's 1 kilogram of flour, the weight flour, the flour I weighed previously. I added it in bits straight into the water and yeast mixture. I keep mixing it with a spatula, and after mixing it with a spatula, the next thing I did was to add um, my rosemary. I I took about 3 sprigs, 2 sprigs of rosemary. I chopped them on the chopping board with a sharp knife, and I put it straight into the flour mixture. And what next did I do? I slice my cherry toms and I put it straight there. You could slice your cherry toms or you dice it, or you dice your cherry toms. You know what I mean? So you could slice or dice it, and I put the dice or whatever the sliced cherry toms straight into the flour mixture, and I added salt last because I said if you put salt too early, you're gonna kill your yeast because yeast doesn't really need salt to work together. You need to add it later because it's gonna die, it's not gonna grow. So I added salt, then finally I added olive oil, and I kept mixing, and I had eventually I had a nice smooth ball of dough, and floured my work surface. I added flour on my work surface, and took out the dough from the dough that I mixed in the bowl. I took it out, put it on the flour work surface. Then I kneaded gently. What I did was gentle kneading. I did it in a gradual process. My gentle kneading. So I finished kneading that, and I put it straight into the oil bowl. I oiled my bowl with olive oil, and I put it straight into the bowl because I don't want the dough to stick in the bowl. So I took a cling film and I covered it in my cling film the bowl, and I put the dough straight into the oven, not on. Hey, the oven was not on. If you put your oven on, you're gonna kill your yeast. It's not gonna grow. It's like you're cooking it. So when I say I put my dough straight into the oven, it's not on because I'm working in the kitchen that is not really warm. If I was working in the restaurant kitchen, you know what I mean? Like the restaurant kitchen is always busy and you're cooking all the time and everywhere is warm. So if you place your dough on the table or anywhere, it's gonna double inside because it's gonna proof because it's very warm environment. So your yeast need a warm environment to grow. So because I want it quick, I cannot leave it on the table because the table is cold. So but when I put it like in a cupboard, in a place warm, like my oven is like a cupboard. So I put it straight into the oven, but the oven is not on. It keeps growing because we use warm water, so it needs a warm environment. So when it keeps growing, it eventually doubles in size. So it doubles in size. So when it doubles in size, I remove the cling film and I floured my work surface again. And while I floured my work surface, what did I do? I took out the dough from the oil. I took out the dough from the oil bowl. You know, if you know, I said if you forgot to oil your bowl, your bowl your dough is gonna stick to the bowl. So you don't want your dough to stick to the bowl. So what you need to do, you need to what oil the bowl. So when you oil the bowl, it makes things easier, isn't it? And the dough comes out freely. So what I did was to oil the bowl. After oiling the bowl, I placed the dough straight on the work surface, the flat work surface, and I kneaded gently again, gentle kneading. I did not use power to knead. If you use power to knead, you're gonna ruin everything. So I did was gentle kneading, front and backwards, and gentle with my palm, gentle rolling, gentle rolling. And after rolling, what did I do? I got a smooth ball of focaccia bread dough, very smooth, not breaking. But hey, I told you something that when I added my tomato, the cherry toms right in there. Cherry toms are juicy. It's already beeping. So let me give it. Let me just give it 3 more minutes. So I added 20 minutes. So I'm just telling you what time it takes. I added 20 minutes. Let me give it like 3 more minutes and see what's going on. In 3 more minutes, I'm gonna check it. Or let me just check what's going on now with because I'm perceiving the aroma. So I'll see what's going on now and tell you what's going on. it looks almost ready. So yeah, I'm gonna. You know what? I'm gonna give it 5 more minutes. You know, I'll tell you why. 5 minutes. Yeah. So it means the actual time is 25 minutes. So I checked it now, and it's almost ready. It wasn't sticky, but you know what I mean. When you're baking bread, you want it very non-sticky and very nice. So what I did was to uh, install my skewer, and when it came out clean, I knew it was ready. So you know what I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna finish up my explanation and check it out in 5 minutes. I'll be taking out my in less than 5 minutes, and in 4 minutes I'll be taking out my bread, and I'm gonna slide my bread and show you what's going on. So you know what happened now is I checked the oven, and the focaccia bread is almost ready. So I don't want to move my camera to start showing you what's going on in the oven. So now uh, what I did was to preheat my oven to 190 degrees centigrade. That's 190 degrees Celsius or 190 degrees centigrade. It's the same thing. Centigrade and Celsius, same thing. So I put it at the calibrated 190 degrees Celsius, and I added 20 minutes on the oven timer. And I also added my timer here. But I give it an extra 5 minutes, so it means it's gonna take 25 minutes. But here your oven needs to be preheated. Preheated oven. When you preheat your oven, um, you're gonna get a very good result. So I preheat my oven to 190 degrees Celsius for about 5 minutes. It was very warm, nice and warm. Then I took my bread, my flattened bread. I have to sprinkle flour on the dough on the work surface. And the dough, I put it there. And I told you I made a nice dough. I floured my rolling pin, and I gentle roll it on the work surface. So I had a square, sorry, I had a rectangle because my tray is rectangle. So I tried to use my initiative to measure the size of the tray, and I rolled it to get that size, of the tray. So I oiled my tray, and I gently took the bread like a baby. No, don't use hard, don't use pressure. Gentle carry it and place it on the oil tray. So after doing that, I took my fingers. Your fingers need to be clean and neat. You don't need a tool for this. Just put your hands. That's it. I did it that way, that way, that way, and I got some nice holes on my focaccia bread. Then I sprinkle. I added some rosemary sprigs. I call them, you know, sprigs of rosemary, baby ones. Put them, line them on the holes. I made them uniform and very nice. And I sprinkled sea salt all over. And finally, I added some sliced cherry toms and a sprinkle. I drizzle olive oil on the bread. I drizzle olive oil on the bread, and I put it straight in the oven. And it's been cooking now. We got 1 minute more, so I'm gonna check my bread and see what's going on, if it's ready or not. So when you tap your focaccia bread, it's gonna sound hollow. Hey, if your bread does not sound hollow, it's not bread. Any bread you make must sound hollow. When I say sound hollow, I see there's a hole in it. When you tap it, you're gonna hear it, you know, sounding hollow, like an empty space in there in the bread. so you know you had a nice bread. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna check my bread, take it out from the oven, and when I take my bread and take it out from the oven, I'm gonna slice it in rectangles or squares. Squares should be alright. So you can enjoy your focaccia bread with nice, tomato soup or or whatever. So it's beeping now. So you can hear that it's beeping. It's ready. So I'll go check my focaccia bread now. Take it out from the oven. I can perceive the aroma. It's very nice. So I'll turn that off. Turn that off and set it aside. I'll check my bread now. My bread should be ready. I believe so. Should be ready now. I'll turn my oven off. So now I'm gonna show you what's going on. So I'll show you. This is hot. I'm gonna insert my skewer. Can you see the bread? It came out clean. Well, you see, I'll just give it I'll give it like 2 more minutes. Let me give it 2 more minutes. It's ready, but I want it perfectly ready. The tomatoes are very nice, juicy on top. Okay. So now let's call it. It's gonna be ready. Let's say it's 30 minutes for baking. So 5 more minutes. So my friends, when you are making yours, use 30 minutes for that 1 kilogram. But if you're making 500 grams, it could be about 25 minutes or 20 minutes to get ready. But because it's a very big bread, 1 kilogram of flour, that's why it's taking time. So it's ready already. So I want it to have a more crunchy and crispy texture. So I'm gonna add 5 more minutes. So I have 5 more minutes to eat. In 5 minutes, I'm gonna take my bread out. When I check it, it was not sticky. You know what I mean? It was not sticky. So I'm gonna I'm gonna check it again. So I'll be right back. So we take it out in 5 minutes. In less than 4 minutes anyway. Yeah, I'm back now, and so you know what? The bread is almost ready, so I'm gonna slice it. My I'm gonna grab my knife and I'm gonna grab my pastry knife, my chopping board. So I'm gonna slice my bread now in 1 minute. So so I need the pastry knife. Hold on. So I got 30 seconds left. So I got my pastry knife, nice and clean. Bread is ready now. So I'm gonna take out my bread. So you can see it's beeping. I stopped it. I stopped the now. I'm gonna show you my bread. This is really lovely bread. You can see. Look at that. That's lovely, isn't it? Lovely focaccia. I'm gonna show you something. This is the rosemary is already cooked. Look at the sea salt there. You can see the sea salt. And you can see the tomatoes. Nice, nicely arranged. Of course, the bread is still hot. Sounds hollow, isn't it? Can you hear that? Sounds hollow. Can you hear that? So when you make a bread, it should sound hollow. If it doesn't sound hollow, then that's not bread. Your bread should sound hollow. So nice and hollow. And I'm going to pop this aside to rest for like 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, we're gonna um, slice the bread in half. Slice the bread. It's very hot now and cold. You're gonna slice it now. We slice the bread, and we're gonna enjoy our bread. The rosemary on top is nice. I can pick up one rosemary and chew it. Cooked. You know what I love about the bread? I love this focaccia bread because um, it's really nourishing. It contains natural ingredients, so that's why I love it. So if you check it out, you see what I mean. Like you got your rosemary, you got your tomatoes, you got your sea salt, you got your olive oil, you got your flour. You know what I mean? Everything nice, nice and natural. Um, I cannot wait to have this for lunch. I'm gonna have it for lunch or whatever. Lunchtime is gone. This is around 3:50 here in the UK. But I cannot wait to have this. I cannot. It looks absolutely gorgeous, absolutely nourishing, sensational. It's mouth watering. So we allow you to stand to rest for some time, and we're gonna slice it in half. You know, when you bake a bread, for example, and you place it in your baking pan, and you forgot to grease your baking pan with oil, butter, or flour, or whatever, what's gonna happen when you finish baking it? It's gonna stick to the pan. Even if it's a non-stick pan, they call it a non-stick pan. You still need to oil it. So, or you use your packing paper or whatever. So, if you do not oil it or use a packing paper or whatever, it's gonna stick to the pan. When it sticks to the pan, what's gonna happen? You try to force your bread out when it's cold. It's not gonna come out. Even if you use a knife or whatever to like scrape the edges or whatever, your bread's not gonna come out. What you need to do is you're gonna destroy the bread. The bread's gonna get damaged and it's gonna be fucked. So, but for pastry chefs, what they do, they oil their bowl, they oil their pans, the bread pan or whatever pan they're using. So we oil it, or we use a packing paper, or we use any method, just like make it greasy. So, and when you do that, of course, you need to allow the the uh, the hot bread or hot cake or whatever to cool down. You could cool down on a wire rack or something, or you could just leave it there on the tray to cool down before you take it out. But now, if I try to force this bread out when it's hot, you know what I mean? You could damage it or something, or you could break it or something. So when you allow it to cool down, have it gets its own it becomes stable and like a solid form, and it's easier to take out. And when it cools down, it frees itself from the tray. You don't need to force it. You don't force the bread out. So I can see now it's free. It's almost free. But when it was hot, it was very close to the tray, like was stuck to the tray. But now it's free from the tray. It's like freeing himself from the tray and trying to get out from the tray just by itself. It's natural. It doesn't. We don't need to force it. Like it frees itself. It comes out from the tray just on its own without anyone forces it. So, and because it's focaccia bread, I need to be careful when I'm taking this out, because if I like flip it all over quickly, my rosemary could fall off. Well, it's already stuck in there. Well, what I mean is like you don't want some of the rosemary to fall off, but they are all stuck in there. So, but I'm gonna gently take it out because you want to present a nice focaccia bread to the customers or to the family members or to your guests or whatever. So you want a nice presentation, isn't it? So what I'm gonna do, taking it out, I want to give you a nice presentation. So I need to carefully take it out from the tray. So it looks like a pizza, isn't it? This is a flat bread. That's why I'm using the tray to bake it. If it wasn't a flat bread, I would have used what? I would have used a normal baking tray or normal baking pan. We're using baking bread or the cake pan. But I did not do that. What I did was to use a flat tray. And that's why I'm gonna get a flat bread, because focaccia is a flat Italian bread. It must be flat. Like a pizza, is similar like a pizza bread. So, and if you check the recipe out, you will see there's no milk in focaccia, no milk in pizza, because these bread are nourishing, and that's why all over the world you see people always go for pizza, focaccia, whatever, because these bread are very nice. You know what I mean? Like, they look lovely. They are flat bread, and when you eat, you keep eating so many of them. So you need to be careful. Anyway, we need to be careful because we eat too much of this, not good. So we have portion sizes. There should be portion sizes for you know for health wise. Want to stay healthy, so there should be portion size. I cannot eat this in one day. Never. This could last for 3 or 4 days. It's a lovely big bread. I cannot finish everything. You know what I mean? I'm not doing a mukbang. You know what I mean? Like a food mukbang, or what do they call it? When someone eats, one person can eat 10 of these for mukbang. I am not doing mukbang, so this bread is gonna stay uh, for um, for 4 days or 3 days. But if your family members, they could be finished in one day. But if you have few families, or family of two or family of three, it could last for 2 or 3 days. So now, I'm gonna take this wonderful bread, you know, out from the tray. And when I take this bread out from the tray, I'm gonna slice this bread. Last, one more time, I'm gonna tell you what is right in this wonderful focaccia bread. We got flour. If you have your pen, if you're not joining this live stream, this is Cook with Chef Francis, live on YouTube, streaming live every day, every 2 days, every 3 days. Well, streaming live every week, 3 or 4 videos every week. So stay tuned, turn the notification bell button to get live stream videos, 3 or 4 live stream videos in a week. If you check out my channel, you see I'm doing live streaming now, because most of my friends actually do live streaming, because they feel when I do live streaming, they understand it better and they want to learn more, because you know they see everything, fast forwarding and all that. So they said make more live stream, and what I mean, want to learn. They love my cooking. Like, they want to learn so many things, like this, like a cooking class. It's a free cooking videos. You know what I mean? You learn everything from scratch. Free recipes, you know, free recipes, free cooking classes, free cooking videos, free cooking channel. So that's it. So now, um, the bread sounds hollow. And hear that? It sounds hollow. So I'm gonna take it out from the tray and slice it. So for the last time, I'm gonna tell you what I added in this bread, the recipes, and how I made it again. And I'll slice the bread and end the live stream. Now, for the last time, I said, if you have your jotter, you can write it down if you're not joining this live stream, because you might not have the time to watch the replay, or you could still understand it. Or if you watch the replay, the better. Now, I'm going to tell you what I did. I weighed my flour. I weighed 1,000 grams of flour, which is 1 kilograms of flour. 1 kg. I weighed it. I set it aside. What next did I do? I took a bowl, a clean bowl, and I added 600 mils of warm water. If you have been watching my previous live stream, you will see the explanation of what I mean by warm water. You don't want to kill the yeast, you want the yeast to grow. So warm water, dip your hand in there, is warm. If it's very hot, you do like this, and it's very hot. 600 mils of warm water, I put half of the warm water right in there, add 4 tablespoons of yeast, and I stir with a spatula. What did I do? I took my weighed flour, the flour I weighed, about 1 kilograms or 1 kilograms of flour, and I put it in the bowl. I added it bit by bit, not all at a time. If you do it all at a time, your flour is going to be seeded and you're not going to get a good result. So what I did was to put it in bits and I kept mixing it with the spatula. And eventually I got something very smooth, not a seeded dough. You don't want to get seed in it. So later on, what I did was to chop my rosemary. I washed my rosemary and I chopped it. I chopped some rosemary, about 15 grams of rosemary, or let's say I chopped 10 grams of rosemary, about four sprigs of rosemary. I chopped them and I placed them into the flour bowl. What next did I do? I took some cherry toms, about 200 grams of cherry toms. I added it into the juice. Do not remove the juice from the cherry toms because the juice from the cherry toms makes the focaccia juicy and nice. It also adds nutrients to the focaccia, adds flavor. But if you remove the juice, it's not gonna be sweet. So I added the juice in there together, the whole cherry toms, sliced cherry toms added in there. But be careful when you need it, because when you need it with power, you're gonna break up the juice and you end up adding too many flour to your dough. And you know what I mean when you add too much flour to your dough, what happens to the recipe? It's gonna be fucked. So what I did was to gentle knead on the dough, on the flour work surface. After kneading, I added my salt, everything, salt, mix it up. I did not put salt from the beginning. If I put salt from the beginning, the salt is gonna kill the yeast. So what I did was to put the salt later on at the end, so the yeast stays alive. I added olive oil, 4 tablespoons, mix it up, and I brought out my dough, knead on the flour work surface, and next what I did was to place that kneaded dough that I gently kneaded on in an oil. I place it in an oil bowl, cover with a cling film, and allow it to cool for at least 30 minutes. I put it in a warm place, like in the oven at home. Then after 45 minutes, I brought it out and I kneaded gently on the work surface with flour. And I floured my rolling pin and I rolled it into rectangle. I rolled it into the same size of this tray. And after rolling, I oiled this tray and I gently carried my flattened focaccia bread dough straight on the oil tray. And what next did I do? I took my two palms and I stretched the dough to fit into the size of the tray, to have the same size. You know what I mean? So after that, what did I do? I took my palm, my fingers, and I made an imprint. I made some holes. I did it that way because when you get focaccia bread, you see some holes, and I made some holes on the focaccia bread. And what next did I do? I took some sprigs of rosemary. I cut them. I made them into baby size, and I added the rosemary. You can see that. I put them on the holes and I made them uniform. I gave some space, like some gaps. You know what I mean? Made them uniform. Then I added some sliced cherry toms on it again, and I sprinkle sea salt on it, and I sprinkle some olive oil. Initially, we added 1 tablespoon of sea salt right into the dough, but finally I sprinkled some sea salt again, and it came out very fine. And lastly, I drizzle with olive oil again, and I put it straight in the oven. I preheated my oven for at least 5 minutes, and I set it at 190 degrees centigrade. It could be 190 degrees Celsius. So now I pop it straight into the oven and allow it to cook for 30 minutes. And after 30 minutes, I remove it from the oven and inserted a skewer into it, and it came out clean. I inserted a skewer into it and it came out clean. And I double check, I check if it's hollow, and it sounded hollow when I tapped it. And because we are not ready to eat it, we need to allow it to cool down. Even if you're ready to eat it, you still need to allow it to cool down so that it frees itself from the tray. So what next did I do? I took it out from the tray and I placed it on the chopping board. So I'm gonna take it out from the tray, place it on the chopping board, and slice it into squares. So now I'll get my my chopping board. Now this is my chopping board. Now I got my pastry knife. The tray is not really hot anymore. So I will gently take this out. Can you see the bottom? Then can you see? Look at the tomato there. See my tray? Can you see? Non-sticky. Look at the bread. See? Can you see that? Now I'm gonna show you how to slice the focaccia bread. You can see the holes I made where I placed the rosemary and the cherry toms, right? As its toppings. So I'm not gonna slice everything. I'm gonna slice the one that I need to show you. Like I want to slice. All right. I'm gonna trim the edges. When you're in the restaurant, you don't want to give the customer the edges, so you need to trim that out. I'm using my pastry knife. So when I trim the edges, I'm gonna show you what I mean. Like, look at the edges. Can you see that? Juicy. Look at the tomato in there. Lovely. Then look at the tomato. Can you see that? It's lovely, isn't it? So now, and you see it's full of olive oil. Now, I'm gonna slice it again. See? I'm gonna show you again. Look at that, lovely. Look at the steam. Can you see that? Lovely. So I'm gonna look at that. Look at the tomatoes. Look at that. Sounds hollow. Look at that. Can you see that? Look at that. Can you see that? Lovely. Look at that. Look at the tomatoes. Now, I'm gonna end this live stream now. But before then, I'm gonna enjoy my bread. Show my lovely friends and viewers watching me all over the world, watching me from the UK, the US, Canada, Nigeria, Romania, Philippines, India, Greece, Spain, Denmark, Portugal, name it, so many places all over the world. So I made focaccia bread, and it's a massive bread, isn't it? Look at that. That's lovely, isn't it? So I'm gonna try one for you to see, full of flavor and tomato. So you can see my focaccia is soft. You see, nice and soft. This is how your focaccia bread is supposed to be. Your focaccia is supposed to be nice and soft. Can you see that? Nice and soft, not dry. Now look at the rosemary on top. Lovely rosemary, isn't it? Look at the tomato. It's called tomato and rosemary focaccia. The American will say tomato, tomato, but the British will say tomato. Or you could say Toms. I always say Toms, short for me, Toms. So look at the cherry Toms there. Cherry Toms, the cherry tomato. I'm gonna try it now. You know what? I'm not doing a mukbang or whatever. I would have finished everything. If I was doing a mukbang, I would eat everything here, right here, live on YouTube. I'm gonna eat everything because this is absolutely gorgeous, absolutely delicious, absolutely sensational, absolutely yummy. You know what I mean? Look at the tomatoes in there. Look at that. Look at the tomatoes. Look at the rosemary. Look at that. I can feel the olive oil. My hand is oily. You know what I mean when you eat focaccia bread? Oily hands from the olive oil. Look at that. Can you see that? And one more thing. Look at the sea salt right there. So when you eat it, the sea salt, coal sea salt. You could use the rocky one as well. So the salt, makes it crispy as well as flavor. You know what I mean? Instead of using sugar, we use natural sea salt or rock salt. Table salt, say no to table salt. You cannot use table salt on this. You can use it for other dishes, but not on this one. So it gives you what you want. It's perfect. It's absolutely nice. Just imagine if I can eat everything. Oh, this is absolutely wonderful. I can't wait to have this. You know what I mean? Look at that. Nice. Portion size. If you give someone that one or that one with the soup, that's enough. The portion size. Or if I like, I could do it this way to make a rectangle, isn't it? Like a square, like a rectangle. Yeah, it should be a portion size, isn't it? That's enough with having with your soup. You see the tomato in there. Very nice. Look at that. The juice, this is what I was saying before. The juice from tomato. You know what I mean? Look at the juice from tomato. It gives you the flavor that you need. The juice of tomato gives you that flavor that you need. It makes it juicy and make it sweet. So if you throw away the juice, you're not gonna get the result. So I prefer my focaccia. I prefer to eat my focaccia when it's warm, not very hot, not cold. I prefer it when it's warm. And when it's warm, I enjoy it more. So I'm enjoying it when it's nice and warm, not cold, not hot, but nice and warm. So thank you, my friends. Thank you for staying put to watch my videos. So as I said before, I'll be ending this live stream in 2 minutes. Um, my name is Francis. This is Cook with Chef Francis. So now I'll be making so many live streams to teach my viewers to make it easier because they told me to do live streams and they're enjoying it. So more live streams, more cooking videos. So now I made focaccia today. My next live stream will be in 2 days time or in 3 days time. Well, I'll be making like 3 or 4 live streams in a week. So it could be any time of the day. So if you turn on the notification, when I'll be making my live streams. So just put the reminder on. Keep watching every day. So if you've missed my previous live streams, check it out on my playlist, or you can check it out the upload. I made live stream on shortbread, I made live stream on cookies, and I made live stream on Genoa sponge cake, the Italian cake. I made live stream on hot cross buns, and this is my 5th live stream on focaccia. So I'll be making more live streams and stay put, keep watching. So my next live stream is gonna be wonderful. I'm going to be making something very nice and something very great. So keep watching my videos. You know, keep watching my uploads, keep watching my videos. And I got a Nigerian channel. You just check out my homepage. Go watch my Nigerian channel. For those who are interested in Nigerian dishes, you can watch my Nigerian channel. It's called Nigerian Food Only. I cook only Nigerian dishes on that channel, so you can check it out. I got wonderful videos on the channel. So thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting my channel. I still remain Francis by name, and the channel still remains Cook with Chef Francis, cooking live on YouTube. Ciao. Bye bye. See you later. See you soon. Get my notification for my next video. Bye bye. So I'll be ending the live stream now. Bye.